the black church and the black community. Oh, this is going to be controversial, and we're going to talk about this when we come back. This is Rob Bell, and this is Rob's Rant. The black church and the black community. This is a very controversial subject, and most people want to stay away from this. They stay away from politics and religion, and there are subjects that people just choose not to dive into. Well, I'm going to dive into it today a little bit, and I'm not going to so much touch on the religious part and pieces of the black church, but I'm going to speak about the responsibility of the black church in our community. As all of the social ills that we talk about in our community that are occurring on a daily basis, people often talk about praying and asking God to forgive us and asking Jesus to come into our lives and make us better people. And I don't have a problem with that. But what I do have a problem with is the black church kind of taking a step back and not sticking their neck out, so to speak, in terms of making the community a better place from a social standpoint. Every Sunday when you go to church, they pass that plate around and they collect X amount of dollars. And I know a lot of that is for the upkeep of the church and for the pastor and his family, and that's his job, and that's understandable. But, at no time do I see black clergy coming out in full force to try to address some of the social ills in our community. I don't see black clergy coming out and talk about the violence in our community. I don't see black church coming out and talking about creating jobs for our young black people in our community. I don't see the black church and the leaders coming out talking about some of the stuff that are going on in our communities related to these universities not giving back, and even the city of Philadelphia addressing this whole issue of education in our community. I don't see the black church coming out and sticking their neck out about that. They're kind of taking a back seat to that and not wanting to be involved in saying that we need to make some changes. Now, there's a large contingency of African American people in our community that go to church, definitely on Sunday, but in a lot of cases go to church pretty much on a daily basis. Okay, and so we have a large contingency. We have a lot of people that can stand behind these black clergy leaders in this community and demand some of the things that need to be changed in this city, i.e. the Philadelphia School District, i.e. the violence in this community, the improvements of creating some recreation centers and some libraries for our young people. The black church needs to get behind that. There are strength in numbers, and there are a lot of people, again, who go to church almost on a daily basis. And I'm sure that number is in the millions in Philadelphia. And with that kind of backing and the leadership of the black clergy in this community, I think some things can get done. But again, I don't see that in this city. I see the black church taking a back seat. And it seems to me that all they're really concerned about is respectively building their own congregations up so they can do what they want to do internally. And I don't think, and I don't see anyone stepping and making a forward motion on making some change. Well, if you're asking people to come to church, if you're asking people to give up their dollars, if you're asking people economically to help your church grow, then I think you have a responsibility to give back to not only those people, but give back to this community. I know that's a touchy subject. I know I'll probably get a lot of bangs on this one, but guess what? I'm challenging you. I'm challenging the parishioners. I'm challenging the black church. I'm challenging the black clergy to step up and give back and put some force on local government to try to make some changes with the school district, with this mass incarceration situation, with creating more programs and things for our young people to do in the community, and most importantly, create some jobs for people in our community, because that will solve a lot of our problems. This is Rob Bell, and this is Rob's Rant.